So my wife's been away for a couple weeks. And so, I go home and watch, I go home and watch sports. I watched the Laker game last night, Jazz game. So Thursday nights are big for me. I get a football game. And tonight's an interesting one. Justin Herbert against Patrick Mahomes. And PFF this morning had a lot of these analytic stats. And like Justin Herbert, second, third in the league and all this stuff. It's really good. And I just want to throw this out. If he beats Mahomes tonight and goes 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes, because we all decided Patrick was going to be the great quarterback for 15 years and win 10 Super Bowls, will we have some new evidence in his own division that Justin Herbert is just as good as Patrick Mahomes? And, oh, by the way, he's actually, the data suggests he's better. Mahomes came into the league with Andy Reid. Coaches sort of matter in the NFL. A ready-to-win team. Remember, Alex Smith got him to the playoffs. Justin Herbert came in with the worst offensive line in the league. They were 5-11 the year before, and a head coach, Anthony Lynn, who was trying to find his way. Now, Justin Herbert has a better offensive line. It's very similar to Kansas City's. It's not top 5, but it's good. And he's got a better head coach. And it's interesting. He's 1-0 this year against Mahomes and has looked better on most Sundays. The interesting thing about Herbert is when I watch him, and I watch all these young quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Kyler, Lamar Jackson, and again, Josh Allen, I feel like the mobility completes them or at some point compensates for something. I don't feel that way with Justin Herbert. He's an old school pocket quarterback. Oh, by the way, he moves really well. It's almost like Jamie Foxx. Oh, he can sing too. Jamie Foxx is hysterically funny. I went to the ESPYs once where he was host. He's hysterically funny. He's a great actor. If you took away the singing, you'd still be like, he's one of the 5 most talented people I've ever seen. But he can sing. It's like that with Justin Herbert. If you took away the mobility, I'd be like, he has a 4.2. He's Andrew Luck without any of the reckless. I mean, he'll throw interceptions, but they're like young quarterback interceptions. He doesn't see a linebacker. He doesn't read the coverage right. But he'll throw picks, right? They all do. But he's Andrew Luck if he wasn't reckless, and he's Josh Allen, but way more refined. He's not learning to figure out the quarterback position. And he's a really old school, sit in the pocket, big kid, and throw darts. And like Jamie Foxx, it's cool that he can sing, but I don't feel like it completes him. And it's cool that he can run, but it wouldn't really matter. Trent Dilfer talked about Justin Herbert on our Monday show.
The talent was undeniable. I don't think there was anybody that looked at him from a talent standpoint and didn't see it. But just nobody knew his intangible stuff. And he's not just uber talented. He has the locker room. He's a tough guy. He plays big in critical moments. His work ethic is unparalleled. This kid does all the lonely stuff that most players aren't willing to do. He's the complete package. I think we're only starting to see the tip of the iceberg on how good Justin Herbert can be.
He's not terribly flashy, but one of the things I love about Herbert is his discretion. I'm always impressed. Favre never had this. Favre had a great arm and wanted to show it off all the time, and that's why he led the NFL in interceptions. Herbert has a cannon, doesn't use it that much, and you don't have to convince him not to use it. That is a gift. A Hall of Fame receiver Chris Carter once said, if you got a great singing voice, you're going to use it. You're going to sing in the car. You're going to sing in the shower. Sometimes talent's a burden, right? Like you have so much talent. You don't have to work as hard. You have so much talent. You're complimented all the time. You get a little soft. Like Herbert's got all the talent and the size and the arm and the mobility, but he uses it with discretion. That tells me he's secure with himself. He's really smart. He's got self-awareness, and that stuff over the course of a career, Brady's a great example, is just as important, the intangibles, usually, as the tangibles. So I can't wait for that tonight. Chargers at home against Kansas City. So yesterday I talked to Mary Kay Cabot. She's terrific. She's been covering Cleveland forever. And if you covered the Browns forever, you just deserve credit for that. And she's terrific. And we had, it's on my podcast. We talked about a lot of the things happening now. They've got a COVID breakout. The quarterback, you know his name right behind me. other side. He may not play. They get a bad break. The game's on Saturday. Stefanski's got it. Cleveland's got this horrible COVID breakout. They're not sure if some of the players will be back by Green Bay. Years and years ago, I got a great advice. And it was actually from a football coach. I don't know where he is now. He said, I was about to get married, and he said, marriage, there's got to be easy days because you're going to have problems, and there's going to be fights and arguments. But it can't be hard. You should be able to sit down and watch TV with this person all the time and just have a wonderful night. Just watching TV together just makes you happy. Because there's going to be problems if you have kids and there's finances and there's jobs and there's moving and there's deaths in the family and there's illnesses. So it's not constructed to, listen, in college you live with roommates. You get tired of them after the first year. When you're young and single, you have roommates. They wear you out and they're your best friends. Like relationships are hard. You got to find easy days. And everything in Cleveland is just too hard. Just take who's 3-4 years there. Agitation, drama, injuries, uneven, fired coaches. Even this month, you got a COVID breakout. Now they got to face the Packers in Lambeau seeking the number 1 seed. And then they have to go to Pittsburgh. It's going to be Big Ben's potential last game at Heinz. That's going to be a zoo. That's coming off releasing OBJ, his dad releasing video. This is why culture matters so much. Because the Rams, they've had issues too. The Todd Gurley situation was a mess, but they solved it really quickly. And New England had Tom Brady surprise them and leave. And a year later, they solved it really quickly. And the Baltimore Ravens, Joe Flacco suddenly can't play, and they solved it really quickly. This league is hard, and there are problems at every turn. Every turn. Kansas City, we got to find 2 new tackles. And yet they did. That's why culture matters. And then there's about 7 teams in this league. Even when they briefly win, it feels so hard. The Jets and the Lions and Washington and Cleveland. And it's just always so hard. Getting out of your own way is a really important thing in this league. And I just look at this week and I'm like, okay, here's Cleveland. This last month, it sets up perfectly, and now they have this. And it's like, is it a coincidence? Is it bad luck? Don't you kind of make your own luck in this league? It's just, for some organizations, everybody faces tire fires. But the Kansas City and Baltimore and the Rams and New England, they just have a way of getting past them really quickly. Everything, even the good days, seem way too hard for Cleveland. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.